Well, Jim, let's change the topic, but actually stay on the note of passings. What are your thoughts on the passing, the word that just got out? I heard from Scott Cornish this morning, the passing of one of your very good friends, Fred the Elephant Boy.
Okay, thanks for surprising me. I had no idea. What happened?
I don't know. I'm just hearing this as we
Well, how do we know we can trust Cornish?
Well, I got actually more
He's
tweets.
A noted liar and a prevaricator.
That's not true at all. I got other tweets from other people saying that Fred the Elephant Boy has indeed passed away.
You know, I didn't know Fred that well, and his brother Kid Vicious. I would see them on Dennis Coralluzzo shows when we would come up. They were big wrestling fans, and you know, Dennis booked them quite often, and they would be at, you know, the occasional wrestling fan convention or whatever the case. But he was a nice guy. I actually never really knew what the complete deal was with the whole thing. And well, you being a Stern aficionado, how did he get involved with the Howard Stern show? I think I've heard the story, but it's been 25 years.
I'm not exactly sure either. I think someone just said to maybe Gary Delabate or someone, I know this guy, you guys got to get him on the air because he could barely speak English and he's weird. And they did that, and he became somewhat of a hit.
But the story of how he was named the elephant, and now somebody is going to probably quote chapter and verse of some book Howard Stern has written or something where it's in there. But basically, he was a caller on the air, and then somebody else called him an animal or something. He said, "I'm not an animal, I'm a human." And they said, "Oh, he's the Elephant Boy." That's how he got his name, from what I was told in the locker room years ago in New Jersey. So it must have been true.
One of the big questions, though, is how did Howard get him on the air, make him into a whack pack superstar, and never do anything with his brother? Because Kid Vicious, if you think Fred was the show, Kid Vicious was the show.
Yeah, they were an entertaining pair, and the Kid was even more over the, because Fred was kind of like the normal one when they were both around, and he was a normal guy. He had a speech impediment, and he was some odd quirks about him in general, but he was a nice guy. So I'm sorry to hear. And how old could he have been?
Maybe like late 50s, if I had to guess.
Well, I guess I was going to say he couldn't be any older than me, but I guess I'm old now too.
I have some audio here. Let's see if it plays all right, because I hate to say this was one of the first things I thought of when I heard that he passed, but this is classic. Remember when Dennis, for a brief while, was actually a regular heel manager in Memphis on Memphis TV in 92?
Yes.
And he said that Fred the Elephant Boy and Kid Vicious were Jerry's illegitimate children, Brian and Kevin, and that Jerry Lawler won't pay child support.
Yes, yeah, that was folks, in the summer, was it the summer of 92? That was an angle that was going on in Memphis, that these two, the two brothers, one of a Stern show celebrity and his offbeat brother were actually the illegitimate children of Jerry the King Lawler.
Neither one of them could speak English well. Jerry Lawler, of course, being one of the greatest linguists in wrestling history, but let's hear some audio here. Dave Brown introducing this crew.
Match coming up Monday night, Coliseum, 8 o'clock when it all begins. Dennis Coralluzzo back again.
All right, Jack Brown, listen to me. You know, I never liked that smirk on your face. And I'm also forgetting my manners. I forgot to tell Lance Russell he's gotten a heck of a tan since I last seen him. But I've had it with these stinking people in this town. I've had it with with the stinking town. I've had it with that stinking Jerry Lawler. Let me tell you something. You see me soften him up for Mike Doggendorf earlier? I'm going to bring somebody out right now, two people. I'm going to bring Jerry Lawler's sons out right now. Brian and Kevin, come on out here. These kids, or who I'm going to be talking to.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you followed any of this over the months or not. These are not Jerry Lawler's kids. I'm sorry.
They are Jerry Lawler's kids. Come here, turn around here. Look at that profile, the regal chin, the regal nose. Let me tell you something right now. I want all you people, please, just for a minute, to shut your eyes and listen to Brian Lawler talk, and you wouldn't know his voice from Jerry Lawler's. Brian, say a few words.
Dad, with up to here, recognize us as your children. Please give us the proper respect and my register.
Kevin.
Yeah, look, Jerry, we've been through this time and time again. You all us child support, and we ain't gonna stop until you give it to us.
Let me tell you something right now. I just want to see how...
He's actually pretty Kid Vicious is pretty good on the mic.
And by the way, and I've got it because it was a sight gag, and the people won't get it because it's just audio. But when Dennis Corleuzzo, bless him, said, and I want to say, Lance Russell, you've got a great tan since the last time I saw you. That wasn't Lance sitting there. It was Corey Macklin, who's an African-American gentleman who had taken over the co-announcing spot. And everybody in Memphis at that point probably shit themselves because Lance was a local icon, not to be bullied around. But that...
I'm going to guess Jerry was booking that summer.
yeah, that was I think that was actually the summer that Jerry Jarrett started his construction business and wasn't around much. And Lawler was definitely booking. And, oh, my God. And Dennis, Dennis was fucking great. That's like sitting down to dinner with Dennis at a restaurant somewhere, except if he was on television as a heel. But anyway, well, I'm sorry to hear about Fred the Elephant Boy. May he rest in peace.